Welcome back, Panther Springs friends, and welcome to our Weather Aware Day here at WPSUMC. Today we're going to talk about prophets. Prophets give a forecast or a prediction of what's going to happen, kind of like the weatherman. So today we're going to look at the forecast of 5 prophets. And the first one that we're going to look at is the prophet Isaiah. Now, Isaiah prophesied for the city of Bethlehem. And his forecast was very bright and it was very sunny. It was wonderful because Isaiah prophesied in Isaiah 9:6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. His name will be called Wonderful. Because he foretold the coming of Jesus, the birth of Jesus, 700 years before it happened, boys and girls, 700 years. So sometimes we might have to wait for the forecast to be fulfilled. But if you are joining us from the city of Bethlehem, your forecast is bright and sunny. It is a wonderful forecast. Our second forecast is from the prophet Jeremiah. Now, Jeremiah is sometimes called the weeping prophet. So we can imagine that his prophecies were probably not so bright and sunny, but a little more stormy. We see the storm. His prophecies were a little bit more stormy. And sometimes we could think of those as maybe doom and gloom, the prophecies of Jeremiah, because at that time God was angry. And Jeremiah warned the people about destruction. And he warned them that they would be carried away to Babylon. But he also gave them a promise of hope. And he said in Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the purpose I have for you, plans to prosper you and to give you future and a hope." But for right now, if you are listening to the forecast of the prophet Jeremiah, you better grab that raincoat. Our next forecast is from the prophet Daniel. Now, for Daniel's prophecy, we might need our raincoat and we might need our sunglasses because he prophesied of some bad things that were going to happen and he prophesied of some good things that were going to happen. So we could think of it as rain and sun. And that's when we see a rainbow. You know, Daniel was a very interesting character. And his prophecies and his faithfulness helped show King Nebuchadnezzar that God is the one true God. And his prophecies kind of go along with the book of Revelation. He tells us in Daniel 12:1, "There will not be a time of disaster such as about to happen until now. But take hope, because everyone whose name is written in the book will be delivered." And the prophet Ezekiel kind of had a similar forecast. Remember, Jeremiah prophesied they would be taken to Babylon. And that's when Daniel did his work. Daniel was taken to Babylon as a teenager, and the prophet Ezekiel was taken to Babylon when he was a young man, it says, or a young boy. So he also prophesied that God was angry with them, but that God was good, and he didn't want to have to do this. He told us in Ezekiel 32:11, "I take no pleasure in the death of the wicked, but would rather they turn from their wicked ways. Turn, Israel. Why would you die and not turn?" So he also gives a picture of hope. Like we know the rainbow is a symbol of hope, because he prophesied in his valley of dry bones how Israel would once be restored and the dead could come to life. Their nation would be restored. And we're still waiting for some of those magical prophecies to come true. So that was the 4 major prophets, boys and girls: Ezekiel, Daniel, Isaiah, Jeremiah. The last one we're going to look at is a minor prophet, and he is the prophet Jonah. So Jonah, you better for sure pack your rain gear and maybe some fish repellent, right? because we know that Jonah's forecast is very, very rainy and stormy. But even through that, even in the belly of the fish, Jonah chapter 2, verses 8 through 9 tells us that salvation comes from the Lord. So boys and girls, there you have it. The forecast, the prediction of 5 prophets from the Bible. Let's stay tuned this Tuesday, February 2nd, for the prediction of the most famous weatherman of all, the groundhog. So will Phil see his shadow? I don't know. If you want Phil to see his shadow, give us a thumbs up. If you don't want Phil to see his shadow, give us a thumbs down. See you, boys and girls. Bye.